everyone, and welcome back to Books with Kiki. In today's video, I'm going to be filming a bookshelf tour. This video has been very requested and I'm very excited to film it. I don't think I've ever filmed a bookshelf tour before, even on Bookstagram, or gone into depth about how I shelve and organize my books. I did recently just extend my shelves. I have another small shelf over here on the end, so they look very, very empty. But that's okay, that just means I can go buy more books, right? That's what I keep telling my husband. I have to buy more books, babe, because my shelves look too empty. So I currently have them set up like this for filming, so they look full, but these shelves here actually belong up the top. So I'm going to go and put all the books back where they belong and get stuck into filming this bookshelf tour. So this is what my shelves look like all together. So I think what we'll do is we'll start over here on this shelf and I'll just go through and explain what is where and why. Okay, so my top row is my pride and joy. This is my fantasy series shelving that I absolutely love. These books I am always recommending, especially if you're a first timer to the fantasy genre. I mean, Sarah J. Maas. So over here we have the From Blood and Ash world. This annoys me so much, but there's nothing I can really do about that because I'm an Australian and this series isn't actually published here in Australia. So we do have to get this series on Amazon, and of course they cost a fortune. Hence why I'm still yet to get book 2 for this one. And over here we have Crescent City. Of course, these are hardcovers. And these are just my pride and joy. I love this series so much. Look how thick this book is. She's chunky. And then we have ACOTAR, Throne of Glass. I would absolutely love the hardcover set for the ACOTAR series, so I could display it on its own shelf like this one day. Hopefully, my birthday is coming up soon, so my husband better get onto that. I would love to get the Nerdy Ink dust jackets to go with them. And then over here we have the Bridge Kingdom series. This is a duology, and then this is like a spin-off. So it's about the side characters. Absolutely love this series. I stayed up till 2 a.m. to finish this book. So good. And then we come down a shelf, and in the middle here we have more fantasy. Honestly, these babies are just here because they look so good. They're all the same height and the same width, besides this one. Did not like this book at all. They are more fantasy books that I recommend. And then to the left here, I have romance books that aren't your rom-com books. So they're either heavily emotional. I mean, oh my god, this one, guys, had me absolutely sobbing. There is a live reacts to this on my Bookstagram page and I am a mess in it. I just cry so much. But these are all my romance books that aren't rom-com-y, so you've got your billionaires. This series is so refreshing and absolutely hilarious. I loved these books. I'm also aware that they're not in order. That's my bad. I need to fix that. And then on the other side of those shelves, I have my college/high school bully romance shelf. I do usually keep my Elle Kennedy college up here as well, but because my shelves are so empty, I'm just trying to put books in places to make it not look so empty. But this is my favorite shelf. I love college and high school bully romance. If you're a long time follower on Bookstagram, you know that this baby here was my favorite read of 2022. Say you swear. I mean, Noah freaking Riley, friends. I love Meagan Brandy so much. I am on such a Meagan Brandy kick at the moment. I think I've only got one book of hers left to read, and I've read them all. Meagan Brandy, Ashley Jade, Elia Greenwood, and S.J. Silvis are absolutely incredible authors. I love them so much. So a lot of these books that are meant to go on this shelf, I've actually read on Kindle Unlimited. It's where I found a lot of these authors. But of course, I love the books so much. I am slowly buying them in paperback and filling the shelf up. So one day, hopefully, all my favorite Kindle Unlimited books I have read will be on this shelf. I then have on the other side here, these books. These are just like, honestly, I don't even know what the shelf is. It's just I didn't really care for these books. They are romance, but they're a bit dark, but they're a bit like God retelling. This is supposed to be this is promoted as a Hades and Persephone retelling, and I can tell you now, it's not whatsoever. So they're just there for the sake of it. And then coming down here, we have I guess you could call it my light and fluffy romance shelf. This is my rom-com shelf. You'll find all of these books have cartoon characters on them pretty much. I have my Tessa Bailey books. I have my Christina Lauren books, and would you believe I've actually only read The Young Honeymoons, and I loved it. I don't know why I haven't read more of their books, because I love this one. But these two are on my TBR. I have my Emily Henry. That's my little romance shelf. Over here, you have my Scarlett St. Clair shelf. I love her so much. She is just incredible. This is Hades and Persephone done right to me. I love this series so much, and if you have read these books but not read Hades books yet, I highly recommend, because you get more plot in his books. Less romance, more plot. I love her, so she gets her own shelf. Over here, you have the Colleen Hoover shelf. This is my Coho collection, friends. Never Never goes here. I'm currently reading it at the moment, so it is out in the lounge room. I love Colleen Hoover, and I don't care what anyone says. I know everyone is on this trend at the moment about leaving her in 2022. Heartbones would be my favourite, and Ugly Love. They are my top two favourites. November 9 is my third favourite. Maybe I'll do a video and rate my Colleen Hoover books from my best to least favourite. What do you think? Should I do a Coho video? So after my Coho books, we have just some like bits and bobs, because again, this shelf is new. Coming back down here, we have my thriller shelf. I've only just started reading thriller this year, so it's very empty. And then over here we have my Penelope Douglas shelf. I love Penelope Douglas so much. So it's actually really cool to start seeing Penelope Douglas on our shelves here in Australia. We finally have Falls Boys and Punk 57 on our shelves. I know you can get the Fall Away series at QBD, and I think Dimmicks as well, but again, it's very hard to find. I mean, most of the time I only ever see Bully in store and not the rest of the series, especially this one. This one's really hard to find here in Australia. My only thing is though, is that a lot of Aussies here are picking up this book and they really want to read it, but what they don't really realise is that to read Falls Boys, which is book 1 in the new Hellbent series that she's writing, you should really read the Fall Away series. So if you would like a more detailed video on that, please let me know. And then over here we have my Elle Kennedy shelf. As I said earlier, usually I have my off-campus and Briar U series up on my college romance shelf, but my shelves are empty, so I figured I'd give her her own shelf for now. I have not come across a hockey romance that beats The Deal yet. This would have to be my favourite hockey romance. Actually, I take that back, it's The Score. I love Dean and Allie's story so much. So I love Elle Kennedy. And then over here we have all of my like YA fantasy books. These are all my fantasy books that I read back when I was like 17, 18, 16, like, you know, those books that you first start reading. I have a lot of those books there. My Harry Potter series, I've got some newer fantasy here and one Shatter Me book. I still don't know if I want to get into that series yet or not. That's why there's just a one there. Again, my old school Fallen series. Who remembers that series? I loved that series when I was younger. My Twilight shelf. Of course, my Twilight shelf has its own shelf because that's the series that got me into reading, guys, when I was 16 back in 2007. These books have been reread out of nostalgic and comfort reasons so much that I'm surprised they're still holding it together. Like, they are orange. Check out that spine. It's a cracked spine. Oh my god. My mum actually got me this book for Christmas. That's why it's got the movie cover on it. And it holds a lot of nostalgia and a lot of meaning to me. My mum did pass away 10 years ago, so I don't think I'll ever get rid of this book. And then either side of my Twilight books are all the self-help and memoir books. So majority of these are pretty much my husband's books. I mean, I've read a few, but it's just not my thing. Whew, it is so hot and stuffy in this room. I have to turn the fan off while I'm filming, otherwise the fan is just too noisy in the video, and I'm like sweating after filming that. So that is my bookshelf tour. I hope that makes sense. It makes sense to me. It's how I like to organize my shelves. They're kind of organized in a genre and then author way. It's what works for me. I personally could never do the rainbow shelf. I mean, as much as I think it would look really cool, I just couldn't do it. One, I have too much space shelf. And two, I could not split my series books up or split my authors up like that. As you can see, this is why I bring my books from the top shelf down, because it just looks way too empty when I'm filming. So now I'm going to go and move all my books back. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, please give me a like, hit the subscribe button, and comment below if you have any questions or if you have any requests for any future videos. I will see you all in the next video, friends.